Broadcasting live from downtown Las Vegas, you're tuned in to Guerilla Cross Radio.
Yo, what's up, and welcome to another episode of UNNamed Sports Show right here on Guerilla Cross Radio. Streaming live on GuerillaCross.com, the Guerilla Cross app, Facebook Live on Guerilla Cross page. I'm your host, Quan59, and we got a big show for you today. Got my man Morlon Greenwood going to be live in the studio in about half an hour with us, talking about what he's doing out here. Got some events. He played 8 years in the NFL for the Miami Dolphins, Houston Texans, had a year with the Oakland Raiders, so we're going to be talking to him live in the studio today. And a lot of basketball news we're going to be talking about. It's the NBA Finals, folks. We're going to give our predictions. We're going to let you know who is going to win tonight's game. And we're going to let you know who's going to win the series. And guess what? We might let you know 3 different opinions on that. So you might not want to put your money down on that. I got my man, special guest, Guerilla Cross fam from Let the Ball Bounce, my man Dre Bailey, in the building. What's good?
What's going on, peoples, man? I appreciate you having me on the show today, man.
Yes, sir.
I feel a little honored. Today, man. So it's gonna be a great show today, man.
You know, man, one network, one family. We got a lot going on, man. We got a lot going on with the radio that I'm gonna tell you guys off air too. So a lot of good things happening here at Guerilla Cross Radio. We are here live for the next hour and 20 minutes probably, so make sure you stay locked in. If you want to call us, hit us up 702-608-3259. Give us your opinion, give us your take on what we're talking about today, and we will answer all the calls as we can. And listen, man, if you're a fan of the show and you comment on social media and you post a flyer and you're like, oh, if you're a Dolphins fan, if your name is Chris Rhodes, or anybody, because people do this, you can hide behind a computer. You can say anything on that computer, right?
Yeah.
So if the dude that you're talking about is going to be in the studio live, you can call him. You can tell him how you really feel, but you probably won't. You probably won't do that.
Stop hiding behind them keyboards, man.
It gets a little different when they come, when it becomes real life and they're actually there. Yeah. So, but listen, man, we appreciate everyone tuned in. Please share the Facebook Live with your people. If you like the show, share it with your people. If you don't like the show, share it with your people because they'll like it. Just because you're a hater doesn't mean your friends are haters. You know what I'm saying?
Pretty much.
So make sure you do that. Follow us at Guerilla Cross on all social media, at UNNamed Sports Show on Facebook, at Quan59. You can follow me everywhere. Follow and Let the Ball Bounce. And on Twitter with 1 T, right?
Yeah. Hey.
I heard that before.
That's what's up.
My man Hollywood Huff in the building. We didn't know he was coming. He just entered the room like, I'm here. What's good, man? Yoke dog.
Oh, man, that's how I do. I just show up. And, if there's room, I stay. If not, I go.
That works, man.
It's the best life.
That works.
Yeah.
So, it's a great life.
Are you living your best life, Steve?
Pretty close.
That's my least favorite. What's one of your least favorite sayings that people do on Facebook? Like, living my best life. I hate when people post that.
You know what's
Because you only have one life. And the other one I hate is asking for a friend or just saying. What's one of yours, Steve?
The funny thing is, it's living my best life. I hate when people say it, but I say it. Because I'm trying.
But you say more as a joke.
Yeah.
These people are saying it like, I'm living my best life, like they're really doing something. And really all they're doing is they're depressed. They take a picture of them doing something in public, looking cool, and then they put their phone down, living my best life, put their phone down, and then they're back to being depressed.
Yeah.
You got that depression hotline number, Steve?
No,
No, just hit up the hotline bling.
There are dispensaries in Vegas that can help you with that.
Yeah.
Wow, we got a comment already on Facebook.com on the Facebook live chat. Steve needs a trip to the barber.
Wow.
Wow.
Thanks,
Shout
Dave.
out to Death Star Days.
Right.
I'm sure Dave will probably call in today to talk
Hey.
about some of this NBA stuff going on. Are you going to let him do you like that, man?
I have no comeback. I'm fresh off vacation, bro. I'm like, I've been living my best life.
And, he,
wow.
So, hey.
and he light skinned, so it don't look that bad. I mean, if I not went and got lined up and things like that, you'll be able to tell quicker on me than him. And I'm looking in the light, and it looks cool to me.
Right.
I think it probably does look better live than it does on TV because I'm looking at the screen and it looks a little different. But
Well,
I don't know, man. I like it. I like it, Steve.
I look better in person.
Well, I didn't say all that. Dre,
true.
what's one of your least favorite things that people say constantly on social media?
You know, that's a great question. I never even thought about it.
Besides, I'm blank, blank, blank old.
Yeah, that got a little irritating. You know, I don't know, man. I think when people post about things that they know is not true, you know what I mean? Like, let me tell you what I do hate. I don't know if it fits along the criteria, but this is what I do hate. Is when people who just do not work can't wait to get tax money back so they can go on vacation. Hold on. So they can go on vacation. People who don't work waiting for tax money to come back so they can go on vacation from a job that they don't have.
Hey,
Or doing GoFundMe accounts. Support my mission trip.
Hey,
that's not a mission trip,
I
bro.
can't wait to get these taxes back. Hold on,
Man.
Hey.
Will I be on that list to pay back that $20? Ouch.
It's ridiculous, man.
Yeah,
Ridiculous.
There's a lot of malarkey going on Facebook.
There is.
that's how you live your best life.
A lot of fake news, a lot of living your best life on there. Listen, man, we got the NBA Finals tonight. I'm pumped up. Golden State got some really bad news today.
What was that?
DeMarcus Cousins is coming back for game 1
Wow.
of the NBA Finals. I feel like that is not good news for the Warriors. Steve Kerr did an interview the other day. You could tell he didn't really want Cousins to come back too soon. I don't think he fits in there with what they do that well, especially coming off an injury like that. He was already slow coming off the Achilles. And you could tell he was probably, I would say, 75% all year.
Yeah.
75, 80% all year. Now he has a quad injury. So not only is he still recovering from that Achilles, trying to get into game shape, now he has the quad injury, trying to get into game shape.
Yeah.
How many minutes do you think they can and will give DeMarcus Cousins in game 1 and just in this series in general? Will it hurt or help them? I feel like it hurts them with him coming back. Because now you kind of have to give him some minutes because it's DeMarcus Cousins. But at the same time, I think that messes up the chemistry they've had on this winning streak. 6 games they've won in a row?
Yeah, I think it's more to test out, how I think he's gonna get about 35 minutes for the entire series.
Not average.
Wow.
Talking about 35 minutes the whole series.
The whole series.
All right.
Wow.
At this point, I don't believe that DeMarcus Cousins can help them get over the edge. I think bringing him or inputting him into that system right now would hurt them more than help. My opinion. He had that is the tearing the quad muscle, and we all seen it. It looked bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think in order for him to try to secure his future bag, he shouldn't even be. I mean, just sit down and enjoy this chip ride.
Yeah.
But you think in securing his bag, he wants to come back and prove like, yo, I can still play? Because a lot of people when he got that quad injury were like, yo, he just lost a lot of money doing that. If he comes back and does play well and is part of the championship team now. You know what I'm saying? Like, he actually helped contribute to the championship. Is his mindset maybe thinking like, that's going to help me get more money?
I think it may be in his mind, but at the end of the day, an injury is an injury.
Yeah.
And we don't heal just because we want to. So, you know what I mean? Like, so it's like.
And a quad is usually more than 6 weeks.
Look, man, I am not a pro athlete, but I popped my groin a few weeks ago. It's literally, I went to the doctor. It's the same injury LeBron had. The doctor told me it's a minor tear, won't need surgery, but for 8 weeks. 8 weeks, do not do anything strenuous. She was like, the problem that most people have, how they get really injured or need surgery is they have an injury. They're supposed to be out for 8 weeks. They sit out for 4 weeks, 5 weeks, and then they go, I'm about 80%. I feel really good. And certain injuries, especially your quad, your groin, probably your calves, your ankles, like there's certain injuries, you can't cheat the system. You have to sit out. And he feels 80%, but the body is reconstructing at where you're physically more like 20%. Right. Like you don't think you're that way, but you are, because you're not in that constant pain all the time. So already, I think healthy as he was coming off of Achilles injury, they still scored, I think it was something like 9 or 10 less points when he's on the floor per game or something like that. With him coming off a quad injury, he is not 100%. They are definitely a worse team with him on the floor, which is crazy to say because it's Golden State. Like, how much worse are they? But going in,
and I don't think that's saying anything bad about him. It's their style of play is a way too fast-paced style for someone like DeMarcus Cousins to thrive in.
Exactly.
I think that's what it comes down to.
They're a lot slower with him on the floor, having a quad injury and a not 100% Achilles injury.
Yeah.
I don't see how this benefits him. It's more likely he's getting more risk than reward at this point.
Well, I know it's going to hurt a lot of us Facebook doctors out there who diagnosed him with a significant quad tear. But this now makes me think, was it as significant as we all thought? Right? And was this just a way to get him more rest for later on in series where they may need him? That's a whole different type of thinking when you thinking like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked bad because we all diagnosed KD also. Like, he should be done for the season, right? All of us Facebook doctors, right? He tore his Achilles. He's done.
Even though he's still walking.
He's done, right? I didn't believe that he strained his calf because he doesn't have calves. Right?
So you strain what you don't have.
Right? So I didn't believe that. Right? So whatever he did to his leg, right? It is what it is. But DeMarcus Cousins, was he really hurt as bad as they quote unquote say he was?
Yeah. I mean, it's and that's the thing with athletes.
You saw that quad roll up though.
Yeah, but I've also had a spasm in my quad that could have looked worse than what it actually was.
Yeah.
I've seen plenty of people in the gym like overwork themselves, or sometimes on purpose, sometimes not.
Spasm.
And a muscle of spasm, and you literally see through the skin like something rippling, almost looks like just water waves underneath the skin, and it looks really bad, but they drink some water and chill out, and 20 minutes later they're fine.
I did that with my bicep once, where I lifted too hard, and when I flexed, it looked like a camel.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it was missing the middle, and it was like I'm like, what's going on? So, but it was like 2 days later, it was fine.
Right.
Yeah.
So if that happened to me, and you guys saw that happen to me, and I leave, and I go to the doctor, and I come back, and I tell you, oh man, I tore my bicep, you wouldn't be saying, man, you didn't. You'll be like, dang, I seen it. It looked like you tore it.
Yeah, right.
But it actually wasn't really a tear.
Right. And I mean, hey, you can also tear a muscle and it don't look like nothing. Like you look completely normal. So, I mean, he could be hurt, he could not be hurt, but and again, these are pro athletes.
Yeah.
They got the same doctors, but they get some different medicine.
Yeah.
That
so
as normal folks don't get sometimes.
Yeah.
So
who are we to say that the injury was fake or not fake? I mean, who am I to say that Tyson really didn't break his back.
Spinal.
Spinal.
So yeah, man.
Shout out to Mike Tyson. He got into a fight, I think, over the weekend.
Ouch.
Yeah, he did. He beat somebody up for talking bad about Tupac.
You don't talk bad about
well,
Tupac.
no, you don't do that, man. That's blasphemy.
Especially not to Mike Tyson.
Especially in front of Mike.
Nah, man, they were
because he knows
they
Tupac,
were homies.
Yeah, and he knows Tupac died the night of his fight.
Yeah,
and
so if he didn't fight, Tupac would still be dead because Suge was making sure. But anyways,
ouch.
And this guy swung on Tyson first, which
no, you don't do that.
Actually, you do.
That's asking for it.
You get yours.
True.
Actually, you do.
That's the only swing you're gonna get.
You get yours. Hey, Tyson.
You just gotta make sure that one count, baby.
That's the only swing you're gonna get.
You bomb first.
Hey, I would not fight. How old is Tyson? 58, 59? How old is Tyson? I wouldn't fight him, however old he is.
I shook Tyson's hand downtown a couple years ago. It was at the Taste of Soul or something like that they had down here. And I shook his hand, and I instantly had an attitude. After he left and he shook my hand, like I really had a real life attitude. Like, but I couldn't do nothing about it. I wasn't gonna step to him about it. But he shook my hand too hard. I was like, dude, you didn't have to shake my hand that hard. Like that hard. Like his hands are like stone. True story.
Like Thanos. He
snapped.
Wow. He snapped Drage's
dude, I shook his hand and I was like, thanks, Tyson.
It's crippled.
What you gonna say to him,
crippled.
man?
Fingers back.
Hey, invite a man for an interview. Like this. That's all you can do.
I felt disrespected.
Yo, listen, call in 702-608-3259. Let us know. Do you guys think DeMarcus Cousins is coming back too soon? And does that mess up the chemistry for the Golden State Warriors? I think it does, man. I really do think it does. When I saw the ticker today go by and saying he was coming back, I was like, that's not good news for the Warriors. That's not good news for the Warriors. Kevin Durant, also some more bad news, which I think we knew. If he's missing game 1, he's missing game 2. So it came out that he's going to be out for game 2 also. They're doing this game-by-game type thing, which is making me think he's not coming back.
It's drama.
Yeah.
It's either
suspense.
drama to see, like, okay, if we lose the first 2 games, then we come back to Oakland, and then guess who comes back?
Right.
Is that it? Or are they really just trying to be like, maybe they know he's out for the year?
But you know, it's kind of hard to tell with Golden State. They've been playing this injury game all season, and it's not just been this season. It's been the past 2 seasons where they're resting certain players, and, you know, they have the team to do it. You know, you have, 4 perennial all-stars on your team. You know, at any given month, one star could at least miss 30 days.
Yeah.
And you guys be straight, or 2 weeks, 2 out,
sit 2 out at a time.
Yeah.
Let Iggy sit 2.
Let that be the excuse, though. Because if Golden State loses, they don't have any excuses.
Not at all.
You guys have the same team that you won with 4 or 5 years ago.
Yep.
Right.
The same 4 on the same team, better chemistry, and they're probably better than they were 4 or 5 years ago. Every last one of them.
Watching them sweep the Blazers, they are guaranteed better than they were.
They should be smarter players.
You know what I mean?
They should be smarter players, because we saw we talked about it on Let the Ball Bounce Tuesday. We watched the replay of the last 4 minutes of the 16 finals game 7.
Right.
They're smarter than that now. They know they gave one away. So they have to be smarter than that. Mm-hmm. Is this Kawhi Raptors team better than that LeBron, Kyrie, Cavs team that
I would say
beat them?
Yeah. Because collectively.
All around.
And coming off the bench, too. I mean, you got Van Fleet, who comes off the bench and gives them big minutes. At home, no. I haven't seen the away Van Fleet yet, right?
Yeah. He did. Actually, last series, he did have a good game.
Yeah, he did.
That last
like
game in. Yeah.
Siakam is better. You got collectively Ibaka and Marc Gasol. And I say collectively because,
Yeah.
right? And you have, Kyle Lowry.
Yeah.
Who has been really, he balled this last series.
Yeah.
And
he did better. I wouldn't say.
By Kyle Lowry standards,
he still doesn't look like an all-star to me, though. You know what I'm saying?
No. I feel like he had one really good game.
But how much
he's going to be matched up with Steph.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not going to be good.
But you got to go at Steph. I mean,
you have to.
Yeah.
Steph can get into foul trouble. He's done it before. So you have to try to get him into foul trouble to get him off the floor. Because if you get him off the floor too,
and I think
then they're really in trouble.
When you look at when the Cavs beat Golden State in that series, collectively all the games they won, the way that they beat them was by constantly going at them when they were on offense.
Attack mode.
Yeah.
They were attacking them. They get frustrated. They get on their heels. You know, a player gets in the foul trouble feeling like, yeah, I did foul him once, but how do I got 4 fouls now on some BS calls? You know, that I don't care if you at the gym or in the NBA, that is annoying. Like when you feel like you are playing clean defense and they're calling something on you. So that takes you out of your game. It disrupts your rhythm. And LeBron just kept driving the ball, which is what we want LeBron to do.
Yeah.
That's how Kawhi plays. I mean, he will mid-range and lay up you to death.
Yes, he will.
And he's got a good enough three-pointer that you can't leave him open.
That part.
So, I mean, it's the Raptors have a shot. They have a legit shot. And it ain't like you guys said, it ain't like these guys ain't been in foul trouble before. As good as the Warriors are on defense, they're not perfect. I mean, there are flaws, but you have to be able to capitalize when you get a turnover, when you got to get your rebounds, like all the fundamental things people don't talk about. That's how you beat Golden State.
I would be mad if I was LeBron James last year when nobody really picked them to make it past. I want to say Boston. And because Boston was on a tear last year. And when they went through Boston, they went through Indiana, and they just went through those teams.
Swept Toronto.
Right? I know he's pissed. He said, I wish I was facing this Golden State Warriors team with an injured DeMarcus Cousins and no KD.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at the way them chips fell.
They would have won that series. If they didn't have KD last year, they would have won that series.
Ooh. Yeah. I mean, it would have been a better series.
Because they barely lost all the games they lost. And you know, game one, that was the J.R. Smith game.
Right.
That shouldn't have happened. You know, that should have been a Cavs win right there. I think it would have been different. Draymond Green is saying he's the best defensive player of all time.
Yeah, you have to keep living Draymond Green.
But if you say that, you have to go into this series. You have to try to check Kawhi Leonard if you're going to say that, right?
Good luck.
Yeah,
but they're not going to put him on Kawhi. They're going to put Klay on him.
Yeah, exactly. So his reason for saying he's the greatest of all time, he said, you got to say you're the greatest at everything you do. Because if you don't, you failed. He said, if you're a reporter, you don't think you're the greatest, you failed. Like, no, you didn't. I can know where I'm at. I'm not the greatest radio host of all time. Colin Cowherd, as far as sports radio, light years ahead of me. I cannot do a solo show. That's why I got to call Dre Bailey up to fill in a seat.
You know, it's crazy. I had to learn how to do solo shows because when I first started,
I've done it before. It's hard.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's hard.
When I first started, Let the Ball Bounce, man. I was on AM 720, K-Don over there, and I had a 30-minute slot, bros. 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to have just enough material to just talk.
And even Colin Cowherd has, Joy on there to be able to throw it to if he needs to.
Right.
And to be able to get a breath so she can give some commentary real quick. So my thing is you have to recognize who the greatest are. And I feel like that makes you great because you know who's great ahead of you. Doing hip-hop, Sway in the Morning is people I watch. Ebro in the Morning. The Breakfast Club, which is different. But
I can name right now off the top of my dome, and I haven't even thought about this, but I've watched a lot of basketball, and I can give you 5 players who was better than him.
Yeah, he's not in top 5. And he's a good defender. Listen, he's been playing great this postseason. He plays great every postseason, but this postseason he has a different focus. You can tell he's matured. But to say you're the greatest, and so here's my thing with him using the reasoning of anything you do, you need to say you're the greatest. Well, you're a basketball player. You're not saying you're the greatest basketball player of all time, so that doesn't make you a failure as a basketball player. So that's why that whole defensive thing didn't make sense because you're doing basketball as well. You're not saying you're better than Michael Jordan at basketball. So, first of all, he's a better defender than Draymond Green. Kawhi Leonard's a better defender than Draymond Green.
Yeah.
I mean, could probably name 5 in the league right now.
You got 2. Go. You got 3. Give me 3 more.
Scottie Pippen.
Okay.
Akeem Olajuwon.
Got you.
Manute Bol.
That's it. That's 5.
I can't argue with any of those names. And I honestly feel like he's underrated, but Andre Iguodala might be better on defense than Draymond Green.
Okay, so let me.
And I mean,
overall on defense,
if
I think
anything,
so,
it's close enough to have an argument
for sure
to where he can't just come out like I'm the GOAT. Like that's far. You got a long way to be the GOAT. Now in his defense, I will say, you know what? If I'm doing anything, I'm looking in the mirror telling myself, man, you the best. I don't care. It's a pizza eating contest. You the best pizza eater on the planet. Talking to myself. You know what I mean? But I'm not about to go out in front of reporters and tell the whole world I'm the greatest that ever did this thing, man. Like that's whoa. Like,
but there's difference between having confidence and knowing
knowing when to tell everybody how confident you are in yourself. Like those are two different things. Yeah.
There are names out there that people probably forgot about that when you say it, you're like, you know what? He probably was a better defender than him. Tayshaun Prince was a better defender than Draymond
by
Green.
far. Yeah.
Period.
But, you know, it's one of those things. It's like, you know, when somebody get money, you can't tell them nothing. And somebody get a ring, all of a sudden, you can't tell them nothing. Like, I don't think that Draymond Green realizes that a lot of his defense is the result of playing on a team where everybody plays defense. Exactly. So if you have 1 or 2 defenders on your team, it's harder for them to be great defenders than a team that has 5 defenders on the floor at all times. Everybody's playing defense. I can lock my man down if you lock those other guys down so he can't pass the ball to him.
And when you're sitting in a room of 30 people asking you questions, you're just answering the question real quick that they give you, right? So he might have just said that.
No, he believes it.
Just saying it, but at the same time, like now you got to defend that.
He believes it. The bottom line is this, man. I'll give him this. He's top 5 in help defenders that I've seen.
I mean, because his
help defenders. That means my man beats me.
Yeah, definitely.
He's top 5 in helping defend that person from getting the layup or whatever. Right. I'll put him in that.
Here's where I put him.
That's probably where he's best.
He's saying all time, right? He's not even the greatest. He's top 3 on his team right now because Clay is number 1.
Iggy
is probably number 2, and then Draymond.
Yeah. In that order.
And don't sleep on Durant as a defender. You can't get around those long arms.
Right.
Yeah, but see, Durant would be, in my book, as a help defender also.
Yeah.
Like, because when I think about defense, I think about a person who's taking that as a personal challenge and saying to themselves, you're not going to beat me. Today, you're not.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Pippen did that every play.
Gary Payton. Joe Dumars. Tayshaun Prince.
Yep.
Tony Allen sometimes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, you know, those are defenders that I'm looking at as saying one-on-one. Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, you know, these guys, Bonzi Wells, Ruben Patterson sometime, you know, what hurt him was saying he was a Kobe stopper, but he was a good defender.
Yeah. But that's not Draymond confidence.
Right?
Saying you're a Kobe stopper is saying you're the best of all time.
Kawhi Leonard, Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
You know, all of these guys were really good one-on-one. Go get me a stop.
Yeah.
Right.
But help defenders, then that's when you can put a Draymond Green, a Kevin Durant.
Right.
Even Iggy. Iggy's a good help defender. Yeah. You know, guys who can recover after getting beat.
Right.
The Deion Sanders effect. He didn't just stop you at the line of scrimmage. Right. He didn't have that type of power. A lot of times he got beat off the line.
Right.
But what helped him was his catch-up speed.
Yeah.
You still got to be able to deliver.
Yep.
Right. There's a reason Draymond wasn't guarding LeBron for any of those series. I mean, he had a couple back and forths on the court, but for the most part, Draymond wasn't on LeBron.
Right.
Like, and there's a reason for that.
And Kawhi was though. When Kawhi played in San Antonio, he had the assignment to guard LeBron, and LeBron still averaged 28 and 8. And that's guarding him great.
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody will go on internet all day and tell you how great Kawhi Leonard guarded LeBron James. LeBron James was at the free throw line. He saw Kawhi coming in and was like, "Oh man!"
I saw that highlight yesterday, right? And I'm like, he's mad because he was about to shoot the free throw and got the ball taken away because somebody was checking into the game. It had nothing to do with Kawhi coming in the game to guard him. LeBron does not care who's guarding him.
But people who get that label are the Tayshaun Princes, the Joe Dumars. Even Isaiah Thomas was a good point guard who could actually defend. Dennis Johnson was good at when he played for Boston. You know, Kevin McHale was a good low post defender. Robert Parrish was a good help defender.
Yeah.
People need to understand basketball. Come on, man. There's a difference.
It's a huge difference. But what most people see, I think the casual fan, what they see is the end result, which is, you know, this player had to work so hard to get around this great defender. He got around him, and then the help came and got the block or stripped the ball or did something, and the help gets all the credit because they're the one that physically smacked the ball out of his hands.
And the problem with that a lot of times is the media announcing the games will make a big deal out of, you know, Dwight Howard blocking the shot, but didn't play a lick of defense until that 1 second that he had to block that shot when somebody else was D'ing him up. So I agree with that.
And think of it this way. And I tried to explain this to some people recently. If I'm guarding a person and we're on the perimeter, we're both, let's say he's point guard, I'm point guard, I'm guarding him. He's dribbling the ball and I smack the ball out of his hands. But another one of my teammates picks that loose ball up. They get the credit for the steal.
Yeah.
People will see what I did, but that person now, they're averaging 2-3 steals a game.
Right.
A lot of times that's off of work that I'm doing. So there's a lot of stats that get credited to one player, and it probably should go to another player, or he should get an assist for that stat or something for people to understand there's a lot of work being done that defensive players don't get credit for.
Yeah. He'll get deflections is what they would have pulled up on his stat. Odd amount of deflections. Which is big in basketball.
Yep.
Right.
All right. So tonight we got game 1 of the NBA Finals in Toronto. It starts in Toronto. A lot of people didn't realize I even thought that Milwaukee had home court and that was it. I didn't realize that when Toronto won until they won that they had home court advantage against Golden State. So I think that's when everyone started changing their narrative. Like, wait, Toronto could actually do this, because with game 1, Golden State's coming off, 10 days, I believe?
Close to it, yeah.
Yeah, 9 or 10 days rest.
10, yeah.
They're going to be a little rusty. They're going into Toronto. Toronto's still hyped up. That city, it's full already in Jurassic Park. You can't even get in right now because it's full.
Yeah.
And it's been full for the last 2 or 3 hours. They're hyped up out there. Kawhi Leonard wants to make a statement at home. Like Dre said, Toronto's players, their other players, play much better at home than they do on the road. So this is going to give them that confidence at home. Drake's there. His name's been in the news. The fans are hyped up. Canada, I mean, we have another team in the NBA Finals from another country for the first time ever. Think about that.
Yeah.
This is history right now.
Yeah.
So they want to make a statement with this game 1. A lot of people are picking them to win, which is scaring me because I was picking them to win game 1 before everyone was. So now that everyone is, I'm like, now Golden State sees that. And so I think this kind of gives Golden State an advantage because they're like, wait a minute, we're the champion. We've been here how many times?
Yeah.
So I think Golden State goes in with a killer instinct tonight. And I think I'm picking Raptors because I picked them to win game 1 already. But with everything that's been said and done throughout the week, Golden State's looking at this like, you guys are sleeping on us and you shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, I mean, Golden State, in their mind, I believe, know what it is. They're like, let them get hyped up if they want. That's fine. We're going to go out and just shoot their eyes out. we're gonna do it.
And if Golden State wins game 1, I think that kills the momentum. I'm not gonna say series over, but if Golden State wins game 1,
That's
rough.
I'm glad you said that with the psyche of Toronto. I think coming in, knowing that you have 2 games, I really believe that the first game, psyche-wise, Toronto needs to win this first game, because if they lose the first game, psyche-wise, that can cause a little bit of damage going into the second game.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, emotions are high in Toronto right now.
Yep.
I really think this is a must-win situation for this first game. Now, if they lose the second one, they're fine, because they still feel they still feel a certain, you know,
they're
fine.
better.
Right. They're better than they would be.
It's better, but at the same time, I feel like Toronto has to win game 1 and 2 to even have a chance in the series. Ooh. If they lose either of these games, I don't know if they have a chance in the series. I think they have to go up 2-0, because Golden State being down 2-0 is nothing to them. They're not worried about that going back home for 2 games. They're not worried about that, because, okay, we could tie it up. Now it's our series. We can do what we want. I think Toronto has to win these first 2 games to be in the series. That's how much advantage I think Toronto needs over Golden State. Because if Kevin Durant does come back, let's say they are holding him out to get all the way into good shape before he comes back. If he comes back game 3 or 4 and they've lost the game already, and then you bring in Kevin Durant.
Yeah, but will he be the Kevin Durant that got hurt
I think
before?
he will. I don't. He's not a high leaper. He doesn't jump super high on his jumpers. He's still athletic. He still has to get to the hole, but I don't think he loses a lot, and that's why I think they're keeping him out a little bit longer than he might need to, because they want to get him in 90 to 100% game shape before they bring him back, because they don't want him to get hurt again.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't see Toronto obviously they have to count on winning every home game. I didn't think they win a game on the road against the Bucks, and they did, but I definitely don't see it. Golden State is different. Golden State plays.
The Bucks' weaknesses were exposed.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And we saw that. We've been watching Golden State long enough to know their strengths and weaknesses, and it's not going to be the same.
Yeah,
you can't go into it the same way, because we know exactly who Golden State is. And we didn't know. We thought we knew Milwaukee. We saw once Kawhi started guarding Giannis, we saw what their weakness was.
And I don't see how if Toronto doesn't win game 1 and game 2, game 1 is most important, because winning game 1, they can come back into game 2. Not just the players, but the fans with the feeling like, hey, we can beat this team. We did it one game. Let's keep going. They lose that first game. That confidence isn't there. That confidence is we need to beat this team, not we can, because they haven't shown that they can beat that team yet. So winning their home games, that's going to be hard enough, let alone going on the road to win. And a lot of their players haven't really played well on the road, going into one of the toughest places to play on the road in Golden State. It's going to be really, I mean, it's already an uphill battle for Toronto, and it's just, if they lose any game, any of the first 2 games, it's going to be really tough for them to come back from that.
I think some of the players, like I said, they did get confidence because they did play a lot better on the road against Milwaukee. So I think that does give them some confidence. Like, okay, I got my game back. Van Vliet, we talked about him. So I think they go into Golden State. Kawhi's last playoff game in Golden State, we know what happens, right? This is what changed his whole career and probably even moved him out of San Antonio into Toronto, is they were up by 23 points. Zaza Pachulia puts his foot all the way under Kawhi Leonard on a jumper. Kawhi lands out for the rest of the playoffs. Golden State was up, San Antonio was up 23 in the third quarter when that happened. Kawhi Leonard has confidence against Golden State. His teammates, listen, Kawhi Leonard is the best player on the floor if Kevin Durant is or isn't healthy or back, I think, because he won't be 100%. So I think in this series, Kawhi Leonard is the best player in this series. He just needs his teammates to sustain what they were doing in the regular season, be those players. He needs Siakam to step up, Don't have any disappearing act games like you've had in the playoffs.
Yeah.
He needs Lowry to be solid. He needs some of that bench to be solid.
I think
he has the confidence.
I think it's asking a lot for your role players to perform like superstars on the road. I've never seen.
But Lowry's not supposed to be a role player.
Yeah.
Well, he's the star of that team, and if he gives you 15 points, how much more do you want out of your starting point guard? Right? He's not going to go and give you Steph Curry numbers.
Yeah, definitely.
Right?
But,
he's not going to go out and give you, big Russell Westbrook numbers.
But he has to give us those 15. He can't do that 2 points.
And so far, he's lived up to that 15 at least.
And I think Lowry has to put up over 20, or somebody else has got to step up and put up over 20 if they want to win, because Kawhi, he's shown he can score 40 points, 50 points in the game, but I don't think that's his style of play. And with him doing that, it kind of takes away from other parts of his game when he has to do so much offense. Kawhi can put in 30 points easy. And I think that's, for the most part, all he'll have to do if the other players can step up, and somebody has to give him 20 and a couple other.
Here's the thing: if they're giving Cousins,
That's good.
if they're giving DeMarcus Cousins any minutes, they're going to put Marc Gasol in, and I think that messes up Golden State even more because Marc Gasol is a good offensive player, and Cousins isn't going to be able to guard him right now, and so I think that's a disservice to what Golden State's doing. That's why, like Dre said, maybe 35 minutes for the whole series.
Yeah, right now
we might not even see Cousins tonight.
I mean, right now Ibaka would run circles around Cousins.
Yeah.
And Cousins just look like a wounded animal out there. And other teams can, especially dinosaurs and Raptors can smell blood. And so that's what it is. I thought it was really great that you brought up the point that Kawhi Leonard is exerting so much energy in places that he's never really had to, that certain parts of his game may falter because of it. That sounds like a person I know that used to run through the East. But, when you exert so much energy being all of the offense, getting everybody involved, getting all of the rebounds, being the one to stop everybody, blocking all of the shots, at some point, it's like somebody else got to step up.
Exactly. And that's the thing is these are like nobody is winning games by themselves. Like
no,
it doesn't happen. Like I don't care who it was. If Kobe scored 60 points, the final score was 100 and something or 90 something or whatever. Somebody else had to put up points.
Listen,
Somebody
we
else
saw
had
Kobe
to do something.
play by himself, and then we saw when he won championships again without Shaq that they had Lamar Odom and Pau Gasol playing at all-star levels. They had Andrew Bynum playing at close to all-star levels. And then we also, we saw Michael Jordan. How great was he until Pippen really became that second star where he could really do something that it was like, yo, now we could win championships. Now we could, do what we do. LeBron James, had to go to Miami to play with Wade and Bosh to really solidify. Now we're dominant. Came back to Cleveland. Kyrie had to be that second guy for him to be able to win and keep going to the championship.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very you have to have help, and I don't care how great your stars are. The reason why Golden State is so dominant, why they've been to the finals 5 years in a row, why it doesn't seem like they'll ever go away is because when one player is having an off game, when Steph Curry's fingers hurt or he's got a sprained ankle, Klay Thompson steps up. Yep. When all of these guys, when nobody steps up on offense, all of a sudden Draymond Green is going on a 15, 20 point run.
All right, we got a phone call real quick. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, do you guys know any way that I can set up a meeting with Heath Ledger? Because I really liked him in The Dark Knight, and I want to learn from him.
Funny.
You got to hit up Rob Pelinka. He can set that up for you.
Rob Pelinka can set that up?
He can do all things. What's up, Death Star Dave?
Man, I almost busted up laughing just because I heard Draymond right as I'm calling.
Everybody loves Draymond.
Oh my Lord!
All right, Dave.
I'll never forget the time that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Give us a quick prediction and analysis on this series.
I think you still have, as great as Kawhi's playing, I think he's still hurt. I don't think they have the horses to play with them. I think after seeing what they did with him in the season, they'll be smart enough with the Warriors' will to not necessarily overuse Cousins, maybe let him come in the second unit and just run at people. So I personally think you're going to get Warriors in 5 to 6. No sweep or anything.
All right.
Gentleman sweep. And 5.
Yeah, 5. If it was 2-3-2, I would definitely say 5, but I don't know. I don't think they have a problem winning on the road. I don't think the road scares them at all.
Yeah. No, nothing scares Golden State at this point. They've been doing it long enough to, not have to worry. But, yeah, man, I mean, I think it's interesting. And we haven't seen a finals in a long time that's this unpredictable as far as what people are saying. I'm not saying as far as how you might feel or whatever, but there's a lot of, Jalen Rose, I think, has picked Toronto. My boy Jason Goff, who's now on ESPN, picked Toronto in 6. And then you got people.
A lot of people did. I've seen people picking Toronto left and right.
Yeah, and then you got a lot of people picking Golden State in 5. So we haven't seen this in a long time where a lot of people are going 2 totally different ways.
Well, that's because LeBron's not on the East.
You haven't seen that in maybe that first Miami-San Antonio series, but even then, probably more people were picking Miami.
Yeah.
Gosh, it has been a long time for that. It's finals. I mean, even if the result's not predictable, they always seem to be easy to predict.
I think going back, even Lakers and Celtics, their last series was kind of unpredictable. But other than that, you're right. I think, maybe San Antonio, Miami. But Miami, was heavily favored over Dallas the year they lost to Dallas. So even when they lost, that was a shock,
Right.
Yeah, and when they played the Thunder, they were young, and the Thunder were too young to be considered like real threats at that point.
Yeah. Yep. So, definitely, man.
Tough memory.
Definitely. Real quick, man, before we let you go, Dave, your man Juwan Howard is the head coach now of the Michigan Wolverines. He was crying at the press conference. He said he didn't want to cry, but he's
really crying.
He's at a good place. I love that he had that emotion too, because that shows me like he's going to take this job serious. For him, it's not just me filling up a coaching staff spot until he gets someone better. And he said he wants to reunite the Fab Five. Jalen Rose has said that. Do you think they need to keep doing this? Because Chris Webber is the only one that...
He's not doing it. Chris Webber's out on that. He's shown that when they go to the national championship game, forced it together, Webber separated. Webber has no interest in this.
So my question with that, Dave, should they keep looking so thirsty to do this when Webber's the one that's not doing this? Should they just be like, look, we're united. Let's act like Webber didn't exist. That's what I would do at this point.
That's what you would do or what I would do, but they seem... I think to them, I mean, they really felt they had like a brotherhood there, but I don't think Chris Webber had those same feelings.
Yeah.
Chris Webber's always been a kind of temperamental guy, though, so, I mean, I think he cut it off. I think he was unhappy because, I mean, please, it's not like he was the only one of them getting paid, but he took all the blame for it.
Yeah.
So, now, granted, it's not his fault that it's not the other guy's fault that he got caught, so I don't know why he feels the need to stay so separated from them. I don't get what it is. I mean, he certainly seems to be the one on the outside.
Yeah.
But maybe he just doesn't like listening to Jalen Rose. I mean, that could be a really easy thing to think of.
I think that's a great point that, Chris Webber is done. He's out. He's not going to, allow that to happen. But also, if people really just look deeper into their brotherhood, their family, Michigan had already signed King, Jackson, Juwan Howard, and Jalen Rose right before Chris Webber decided to come over to Michigan. So
Correct.
We were one bad conversation away from Webber not even really wanting to be or just being on that team because he wanted to be the guy, right?
Yeah. Well, Howard was the one that went first. I mean,
right.
They had Howard before everyone else. Then Jimmy King and Ray Jackson. And then that's when Jalen came on. And then I think it's just the weight of all of them together and the fact that him and Jalen played AAU ball is finally what put Weber in there with them. But, I mean, you had heard about Duke and plenty of other teams that were attached to Weber.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. So, you know, from the get, when you look at the history, I don't think that Chris Weber, you know, was really, you know, all in. I mean, he wow. You know, people think that they may have this great relationship, but I don't think Chris Weber really has that relationship with them as much as they did for him.
Yeah.
It's not reciprocated.
He's never seemed to have it. And remember, he played in those few years in Washington with Juwan, too. I mean, he seems to have no interest in any of that. But if you look at it, Weber overall, what guys have you ever seen Weber remain close to? You ever see him with any of the Sacramento guys from all those years?
Right.
You just don't see him with anybody. I think he's just kind of, he's always been separated. He went to the private school. All those other guys came from public school life. He was always kind of out on his own. He was definitely the most talented. He was one of the most gifted players coming in. Injuries really sapped him a lot of that. But I think he's kind of a loner. I think maybe the whole thing of, to everybody else it's a brotherhood, but I think he wants to be an only child. I don't think he wants a brotherhood.
Do you think that he's more of a loner, or you think he's more of like David Ruffin?
Ooh.
Because I kind of feel like he's a low key David Ruffin.
They not coming to see you, Otis.
That's kind of how I feel. Like, cause you know, whenever these things come up, like you guys said, it's always him. It's never like everybody else is like, oh well, you know, we want the Fab Four now. Like, you know, it's him deciding to not be a part of something. And if it's water under the bridge, then you could easily go to somebody and be like, look, we took care of this, we squashed it, I don't want to have anything to do with it. But it seems more like there's no communication from him. Like, I'm not talking to y'all, I don't have nothing to do with y'all do y'all thing, I'm gonna do mine, whatever. But he never said that. It seems, because if he said it, it would seem the other guys would kind of have accepted it and just moved on and proceeded to, well, the four of us could do something without him. But there's been no communication to say that. You know what I mean?
I'm not sure that he cares.
Yeah.
They care.
Yeah.
I don't think he cares.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, to him, it's not a big deal. Like, all of them together, I don't think he thinks about it for half a second. But I mean, Weber always got riled up at like random stuff. He was. I loved Chris Weber, but he was always a weird dude to figure out.
Yeah.
All right, Dave. Well, I appreciate the call in, man, and we'll see you in here on Monday.
Yeah, absolutely.
Guest star Dave in the building.
Hopefully, there's still more Laker stuff for me to read and just enjoy thoroughly.
And hopefully, those Oklahoma City Thunder win another playoff game, because they got one so far this year.
They'll get there eventually. They'll get another one probably next year.
Maybe next year they'll get one. All right, Dave.
Hey.
And I personally think that Juwan Howard will be able to get Chris Weber there, even if it's a fake meeting. I think it does happen. That's just my personal feeling. I think it's been long enough. Chris Weber's on TV consistently now. You know, he was doing the Eastern Conference Finals. I think he needs to do that. Not even for him, not even for them necessarily, but for himself. So I think it will happen.
If the one person that could do it, it would be Juwan Howard. I mean, if you're solely looking at Jalen Rose to make this happen, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So
No,
I
not at all.
think if it happens, it would be definitely Juwan Howard who could do that.
Yeah. Well, now we got a special guest live in the building, man. Glad to have you in the building. My man, Morlon Greenwood, former NFL linebacker, Syracuse, drafted by the Miami Dolphins, played for the Houston Texans. Welcome to the show, man.
Hey, you know, definitely it's my pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Definitely,
and looking
man.
forward to, to the discussion today.
Definitely, man.
Yeah.
So you're in Vegas now, and we're going to get to that in a minute. But let's jump into, your NFL career, going from Syracuse to the NFL. Was it your dream to be an NFL player, and what was just that process like, going from being in high school saying, like, wow, I have a chance to play college ball, and then being in college and realizing like I'm gonna get drafted into the NFL, because that's a matter. I mean, it's a matter of 5 years from going to high school to being in the NFL.
Yeah. Actually, it was 5 years for me because I got redshirted my first year up there in Syracuse. But it wasn't my dream to play football. Originally I'm from Jamaica.
Okay.
Born there, and since I was 5 years old, my goal was to help my family, which is I'm going to talk a little bit about later. But I was playing soccer, and I was fortunate to have a gym teacher. I came to the States when I was 11.
Okay.
And I was fortunate to have a gym teacher in high school that got me into wrestling, and he was the assistant wrestling coach. He was the assistant wrestling coach and the head football coach, and saw how fast I picked up wrestling my sophomore year. And he said he recruited me for football. And I went out my junior year. It took him like a month to convince me, because football and soccer were in the same season.
Yeah.
And it was like telling someone that's in America that's been playing football their entire life, their junior year, be like, hey, come over here and come play soccer. And the kid's going to be like, what? I'm not going to. So that's exactly how I was like, what? I'll be watching those highlights on TV, and I see those guys be falling on their heads, and y'all be hitting each other. I was like, I don't want any parts of that. But after my first year playing football, my coach made it simple for me. I played defensive end. He said football starts 2 weeks before soccer. If you like it, you can come out and play. But if you don't, you can go back to soccer. And
how old were you at this point?
I want to say 15,
Okay.
15, 16, junior year. Yeah, or be 16. Then I was 17, and then became 18 before I went to college. But yeah, 16, my first year playing football. I remember playing 4 games, not even knowing what a first down was. And after playing that first year, I got offered a full scholarship to Syracuse University.
Wow.
1 year playing, not knowing anything about football.
Listen, man,
whatsoever.
I'm a little mad right now, because you got people that start playing when they're 4 years old, playing Pop Warner,
but
dreaming about it, and you just naturally gifted, and just get right there.
And man, I'm telling you, like when I tell people the story, they're amazed. But at the same time, I didn't know that how of a big deal it was.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know that you could get a scholarship to play a sport, first of all.
Okay.
And I thought everybody got a scholarship because it was my first year playing football. I'd be like, yeah, everybody gets a scholarship. He was like, no, everybody doesn't get a scholarship. And one of the reasons, too, is because I was good on the football field, but I was also a good student.
Yeah.
I was an honor roller. I honor roll each marking period because my childhood dream was to help my family. So I was trying to grow up and get a good job and be successful. So my father told me, do good in school.
Yeah.
So I did good in school, and so I got the scholarship, went up to Syracuse, started 40 consecutive games at Syracuse after I redshirted my first year, because obviously I started playing football late, so the redshirt year definitely helped me to develop. Then I became team captain my senior year, got drafted by the Miami Dolphins.
Wow.
Now remember, I didn't even know that how important it was to get a scholarship, how of a big deal it was. And after my junior year, I remember my coach was like, hey, Morlon, I was on the phone with the head coach of Syracuse, Paul Pasqualone, and he wants to offer you a full scholarship, right? And I'm there sitting down there looking at him like, like cool. What are you talking about?
I don't know what that is, but cool.
Yeah, that's basically how my coach used to mimic me. And when he would say something, I'd be like, it's kind of like a Jamaican thing. But it wasn't up until I went on a visit up to Syracuse, and I saw the school, and I saw how big it was, and I saw what they were doing. Then it started to thinking like, this is a big deal.
Yeah.
This is a very big deal. And I was always appreciative and thankful for it. I was just naive about what a scholarship was and getting it. And I was an honor roller. I honor rolled each marking period. That's one of the things that I try to tell the kids. But being drafted was a very, very exciting time for me. It was a nerve-wracking time, but it was an exciting time because everybody was there watching, and back then it was the first 3 rounds on the first day. So you want to make sure that you get drafted and you don't go to the second day, because everybody that's there watching is
Exactly.
is trying to see you get drafted.
Right.
So you don't want to
Real quick, I want to rewind a little bit. So you talk about going from them letting you know you're going to get a scholarship to go to Syracuse. What was that like when you're at Syracuse and now they're coming up to you saying like, hey, you're going to get drafted in the first 3 rounds probably in the NFL?
Well, yeah, I'm glad you said that, because when I first went up to Syracuse and we had our first pro day, and after I ran like a 4.52 at 225 pounds. When that was when I first went up there when I was a freshman. And I remember Coach P looked at Coach Ed Ogeron and was like, "What did Morlon just run?"
Right.
Like, that was the first indication. And I remember Coach Ed Ogeron came over to me and said, he's from Louisiana. He said, "Morlon, you run 4.52 your senior year. You know what that spells? NFL."
That's funny.
And at the time, I was like, man, I didn't even play a game yet here in college, so I was just trying to play and just do well. But but that was when he first mentioned it to me, and then I just continued to play it. And then after my junior year, because I ran a 4.52, then I ran a 4.47, then I ran a 4.42. And as I was getting to be a senior, I was 235. I was benching 420 pounds, squatting 700 pounds.
Yeah, that's what I'm about at right now.
Kidding.
A little bit less.
Yeah.
In the off season.
A tad bit.
So around that time, it was it was it was getting exciting, and but it was a very good feeling, because it was a good opportunity, because my entire thing that I wanted to do was to help my family. I'm from a big family, 7 brothers and 4 sisters.
Oh, wow.
And so that was what I was looking to do. And I got my degree in physical therapy. I went up to school for pre-med, but playing in the NFL was just a great experience. Going down there playing with Zach Thomas, Junior Seau, Jason Taylor, Patrick Surtain, Ricky Williams. Yeah. All those guys were on my team.
Some pretty good players right there.
Man,
Miami.
A lot of great team, man. Tim Bowens, Daryl Gardner. I mean, this guy was like the biggest man I've ever seen, and not just big, but he's ripped. I think he was like 7% body fat. He was like 300 pounds, 6'7". I mean, this guy was huge. His arms. But definitely the NFL have definitely done a lot for me, and was really exciting. But I couldn't really talk on a lot. I could really go on and talk about my experiences and stuff like that, because there was a lot.
Yeah, that's cool, man. So you played what 9 years in the NFL?
Yeah, started 4 years for the Miami Dolphins, 4 years for the Houston Texans, and when I signed with Houston, that's when I was able to fulfill my childhood dream, which is helping my family. And when I did that, I got like an entire weight room for my high school back in Freeport High School. Since then, my high school won 6 Long Island championships, which is equivalent to winning the Super Bowl. But in high school, my coach was inducted into High School Hall of Fame. I got inducted too in 2015 back in my hometown with Jim Brown, actually, which was ironic, because Jim Brown, I didn't know Jim Brown was from Long Island. Wow. And Jim Brown went to Syracuse as well. Yeah. So I was like, to be inducted in the inaugural class in 2015 was an honor, So,
yeah, definitely, man. That's crazy. I mean, that's one of the biggest names ever in the NFL.
Man.
That's awesome, man. And just you saying that you gave back, and that's what you were working for the whole time. Like, you left playing football, but your main goal was, I want to help my family. I want to be able to do stuff, help my community.
Absolutely.
With the NFL money you're making, and I think that's awesome that you do that, because there are so many people that, we've seen documentaries all the time, how people make millions in the NFL and have nothing to show for it when they're out of the NFL. They didn't do anything with their money but party the whole time, have an entourage, stuff like that. So I think that's really awesome that you did that. And, 9 years in the NFL, man, that's a lot of players, the average is probably 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, actually, I think it's 2 to 3 years, or and some of the even less. But that was when I went into the NFL. One of the things that I try to tell people is, like, you work this hard to get into the NFL. When you get into the NFL, you're gonna even have to work harder to stay there. But some people think that once they get there, they made it. You haven't made it yet. It's really time to get to work.
Right,
You know, like every level, you got to kind of play at that level or get your level up to the next level to continue to improve.
And then if you have a good year, you always have the next year someone's coming to take your job.
The next year, someone else is always coming in, you know, and each and every year. So you have to be competitive. So to start 8 years in the NFL was great. When I was with had the opportunity with the Raiders, I was just there in the training camp, and then I went up to the UFL and I started 3 years up there for the Omaha Nighthawks, and after to be able to compete at a high level, it's definitely something that you have to. That I try to tell the youth. I try to tell them that in everything that you're doing, you have to put in the work, and you have to continue to stay on the grind, and you have to always see yourself at a different level than everybody else.
Yeah.
To be able to continue to be successful. I was a 5-time state champion wrestler in high school too.
Wow.
Became my coach first state champion in 26 years.
Wow.
And I also do music.
All right. Have you ever failed at anything? Can we anything? Like it's just,
well, I wanted to play 12 years in the NFL.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
oh, so
I wanted to play 12 years, but you know, when you starting for 8 years and you get into the politics thing, when they'll be like, you know what, we could pay 5 guys for his 1 year salary. So let's
it's hard.
Because it is a business, and once you understand how a business operates, you know, it's all about numbers. You know how much, you know, if you're not a person that's the person that's the face of the organization, you know, you become expendable. Or,
Right.
And I think a lot of people don't. The average fan doesn't know that part of it. They just see like, yo, he was still good. What happened to him?
Exactly.
It is money. I mean, we saw Seattle did that. You know, they've done that this past offseason. They've got rid of a lot of their veteran players.
Yeah.
Because they had to listen. We just paid Russell Wilson.
Exactly.
We're gonna have to pay a lot more younger guys to be able to fill these positions now.
Yeah, and we're talking about NFL money. You know, NFL money and with the owners goes long. And I know we were talking earlier that it seems crazy and ironic that the NFL, who has so much money with these owners, are nitpicking at money sometimes. You know, they, like you said, they'll get rid of one guy that's making a certain amount to bring in 3 or 4 that can cover that, you know, that base. And that's, wow.
You know, when you start to get into business, you understand it's all about budgeting.
Yep.
And when you can't be mad at the owner, because the owner is the owner of the team, and it's organization.
Right.
You know, when you look at it from that perspective, you can understand. You know, he has to try and save money wherever he could save money, because you have other things that could happen that he has to spend on marketing and all these other expenses that he has. So, you know, I think about it. You know, I was very, very fortunate to be able to play, to be able to fulfill my childhood dream, and I didn't get to play as long as I wanted to, but I'm also the way I'm feeling now, I'll be like, yeah, I'm glad that I didn't play those other 4 years. You know, all those injuries and everything.
Yeah.
But I was telling these, I was talking with John Ponder. Not talking with him, talking at Hope for Prisoners. John Ponder got that organization there where do a tremendous mentorship program for people that was incarcerated, getting them reacclimated back into society, like an 18-month mentorship program. But I was talking to them over there, and I remember they were talking about adversity. I remember my rookie year I was projected to be the starter, and then I got injured in my right before we started the preseason games and everything, and I was on crutches for like a month. And when we went to do the MRI, they couldn't find what was wrong, because they said the only reason that I have metal in my foot, right? And I was like, I never had any surgery before, so I couldn't have any metal in my foot. And it was like, well, the reason it's not showing is because, you know, is because the possibility of metal being there. Let's give you an x-ray and see what we find. So they did an x-ray, and I had a sewing needle in my foot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so how do you have a sewing needle in my foot? Well, in Jamaica, I used to walk barefoot on the ground. So that's the type of upbringing that coming from where there was a situation
So it might have been in there
where you could
forever,
walk.
pretty much.
Yeah, it's been there since then. I remember as a child, walking outside, I stepped on something and it hurt for a few days, and I guess it just kept on walking.
Wow,
it's broken. It's broken in three places. So
That's
Wow.
crazy.
Wow.
yeah. So I remember the guy. You know, that was a big talk in the locker room when the guys found that out.
Yeah.
They were
Well, I
like,
know Dre got to leave, man. I appreciate you for being on the show with us today, man.
Yeah,
Sitting
man.
in.
You know, I want to say this before I leave, man. I find it very humbling experience for you to be so humble for the time that you spent in the NFL. You're not seeming to have any ill will feelings of not reaching that 12. You're just extremely humble to have been there for the 8-9 years that you were, and the fact that you were coachable from the beginning. I think a coach saw that in the beginning.
Yeah.
He saw that in you. You didn't really know much about football. You talked about how you didn't even know what first down was.
Yeah.
But a coach seeing that is saying, I can mold this athlete, this football player, to be the football player that we need for this team. He's not taking on somebody else's athlete with bad habits, things that they don't want to change.
Yeah.
He's taking a humble kid who's willing to try something. And, man, big ups to you
Yeah,
for even
for sure.
being
Yeah.
that type of dude. Like,
Yeah.
just if you even share just that piece of your story with people that you're talking to, that's a huge inspiration.
Yeah.
So I want to tell you from myself, man, that's what I got out of what you said,
Oh,
man.
thanks.
Keep doing what
Thank
you're
you,
doing,
thank you.
bros. That's love.
Thank you very much. I really
Yep, yep.
appreciate it, and that you're absolutely right. And that's one of the things I try to tell the youth. Like they asked me how were you able to pick it up so fast, and I said because I was interested. When you're interested in something, you're gonna try to take everything in. It
Yes.
doesn't matter what it is. And I keep on telling them it's not where you start, it's where you finish. As long as you're willing to put in the work and stay consistent with
That's
it.
good, man.
And so that's how I was able to happen. And I had a past relationship with the coach from the wrestling, so I thought that he was a good guy and he was
Yeah.
a good coach as well. He was my gym teacher also. So I said, maybe he knows something a little bit more than I do. You know?
Right,
And he did, because if it wasn't because of him, I don't know how my life would have turned out. I probably would have, don't know if they would have went the direction of football, but you have one plan, but God have another plan for you. So
And that's and I'm glad you said that, because a lot of times with these coaches and scouts and things like that, they're very vital to a young child's developmental growth, right? And he ended up being surrounded with people who was looking out for his best interests.
Yep.
He didn't
absolutely.
get leeches and lurches in the beginning. He got the right people, man. And so big ups to you, man,
Yeah, man.
for actually being coachable and taking those skills that, those coaches gave you and that confidence and the confidence in yourself to say, you know what, I don't know much about the sport, but I'm interested and I'm going to give it all I got.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's like you said, line up here, don't be offsides, and where we see the football, just go get it. Give me 3 instructions. And that's what whoever had that ball, I was gonna get it. I was playing defensive end, and normally defensive end don't be down if it's a pass, if it's not run. I was chasing the wide. I was
know
making
you was.
tackle the wide receiver. Syracuse was like, what? This guy's literally all over the field. I was like, well, that's what the coach told me to do.
That's funny, man. Well, we're going to talk about your foundation. And Dre, man, if you got a bounce, we appreciate you being here with us. Check him out every Tuesday, 6 p.m. on Let the Ball Bounce right here on Guerilla Cross Radio, and Saturday, 2 p.m. on Let the Ball Bounce right here on Guerilla Cross Radio. Download that Guerilla Cross app. Listen live, watch live everywhere. So appreciate you coming through, bro.
Thanks for having me, guys.
I will see you
appreciate it.
tonight at the finals.
Yes.
NBA finals.
Yes.
All right, man. So, first of all, what brought you to Las Vegas, Nevada? How'd you, going from the NFL, what was the other league?
The UFL.
UFL. And then now you're in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Well, my agent was telling me, I came to Las Vegas to visit for vacation. And then when I was playing in 2012, 2011, my agent was telling me that, I should Las Vegas is you should check out Las Vegas. Las Vegas is a nice place to live. And I'd be like, I don't think people live over there. I mean, I said,
do they live in a casino?
The casino, like you were like, Marlon, there's more to it. So I came out here, checked it out, and I realized that there were people did live over here. You know? You had Henderson, Summerlin, all the different areas, and I really liked it. And I like the fact that there's not mosquitoes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not saying
Steve
that there's no mosquitoes.
Steve just dealt with that this
Man,
week.
I went to Texas this weekend,
man.
and bro, like I'm just recovering. Like I got these huge like welts from mosquitoes all over me, bro. I was like, oh man, it's one of the like hidden gems of Vegas. It's just no mosquitoes.
The only thing you have to worry about in Vegas is I'm born and raised out here, and I tell people this all the time. The reason I love it, we're watching in Texas right now. Like they have to worry about tornadoes and hurricanes and all that in the South that they always have to deal with. California's dealing with earthquakes and horrible traffic. Vegas, you have extreme heat for 3 months, but drink a lot of water, stay inside. You can avoid that, right?
Right.
And then we have like a week of floods, which you don't drive through the water, you're going to be fine. So there's things you can do to avoid any of the things that go on in Vegas. But yeah, man, mosquitoes and we don't deal with that out here.
Man, I remember, I'm from Jamaica, so, and nice island, nice weather, but it's something about being outside, then you start to get bit by mosquitoes. It becomes very uncomfortable. Really fast. So, and I had to deal with that in New York during the summer, not during the winter time, because in the winter time, mosquitoes don't even want to be outside.
No, they don't want to be anywhere.
And down in Miami too, and like you mentioned, over in Houston too, over in Texas. So I saw that and I was like, man, this is great. And then I started staying over here, and I started a foundation, reestablished a foundation here in 2015, because I had a foundation in Miami, but playing football, you don't really have the time to dedicate to it, and when you have a foundation. So reestablished here in 2015, started putting on free football camps for the kids.
Nice.
I did 5 free. I'm doing my 5th annual one back in Freeport High School, and this year I'm doing my 3rd annual one here at in Las Vegas, which is going to be at Cimarron Memorial High School.
Cimarron.
July 11th to the 13th. All this information is on my website, mg52.org. The foundation is the Morlon Greenwood Foundation. MG is for Marlon. 52 was my number. 52 was my number in high school, college, in Miami. When I went to Houston, that's when it changed 56. Because Kylie Wong had a number and
wasn't giving it up.
No, he was gonna give it up. He was gonna give up the number, and but then he said, you know what, people already have some Kylie Wong jerseys, and he was still on the team. So
see, if he was smart, he could have sold them more jerseys.
Well, he would
change your number.
Well, I was going to buy it from him for $50,000. So.
Okay.
So he was right. He was really thinking about
money,
it. He was really thinking about it. But then he said,
what's the most you've ever heard somebody selling a number for?
Man, I don't know. I'm sure. I don't know. Probably 50,000.
Yeah,
that's probably what the number that I
average.
Heard. Yeah. That's about probably the average. But I'm sure some guys that come in and they're star players, they probably, pay a little bit more money for the jersey number. Yeah.
Or you just have to give it up sometimes. If
sometimes the team just be like, hey, we have let's say we have Ricky Williams coming in here in Miami, and Travis Minor, you're just gonna have to give up that.
You got to give up the number, bro. Sorry. Pick your second favorite number.
Actually, that's a true story. And Travis was okay with it. Travis was like, I didn't really like that number 34 either, because he was a smaller running back from out of Florida State, but he's a really good player. But the 28 more looked better on his body frame.
Yeah.
He liked that. But numbers are very important to athletes, and it's
definitely.
The number had a meaning, and I didn't know the number had a meaning until my father told me. Like I remember when I was playing in Syracuse, and we were talking about football, and we were talking about number, and I was telling the story how I got the number, because I think initially I selected 77 because I didn't know anything about football. And my coach looked at me and was like, "What you doing with the number 77? No, you're gonna be 52." That's it. That's how I got the number.
That was it.
He gave me, and the number kind of stuck with me. But then later on, my father was like, "Oh, I didn't. I thought, my father was born in 1952, so I thought I got it because he was born in 1952.
Okay.
But that was the number that I was supposed to get.
Wow.
So it's
That's
just
cool.
Yeah, that's how that happened. Yeah.
So it's mg52.org. We will have that link up on our website and the social media as well. So you guys could definitely check that out. If you're in Vegas, you got an event coming up this weekend too, right?
Yeah, definitely got the fundraiser for the foundation to help us, assist us with the free football camp that we put on to be able to have it run properly. We have it at Binion's.
Right down the street from here.
Yeah, right there at Binion's. Doors open at 6. From 7 to 8:30, we're going to have a award ceremony where we're giving out the Raise Up Award to the youth that we're mentoring here. And also the Sponsor Appreciation Award for the sponsors that's been supporting us since day one that help us to make these camps possible and to be able to help the youth here in the Las Vegas community. Definitely, that's one of the things that I like to do. I like to give respect where respect is due for people that are doing things that they don't have to do. They don't have to do that, and they need to be highlighted for that. Yeah.
And we need more people doing that in the community.
Yeah.
Vegas, it seems like every year is getting more violent. You see more kids getting sucked into things they shouldn't get sucked into. Gang violence. You see these people. I mean, you hear these shootings that happen, and it's like, man, that dude's a kid.
Yeah.
14, 15.
Yeah.
And sports has saved a lot of lives.
No, definitely, and I'm glad you said that because the football camp is just to bring them in. It's really for giving them the mentorship and the leadership and let them know the importance of staying in school, getting a good education, staying on the right path, staying away from peer pressure, and giving them something to do to let them know that, listen, this is something that you could put your focus in, and if you put your time into this, one day it will pay off, and not just only it will pay off, on the field, it will pay off the field, but not letting them know that football is the only opportunity. Let them know that you have to always have your education. Let them know that I did get my degree. If football didn't work out, I would have had my degree in physical therapy. So I would have pursued that because I was always interested in that. I actually went to school for pre-med, but classes conflicted with football practice. So I wanted to stay in medicine, so I stayed with the physical therapy because if it wasn't for football, I wouldn't have been there. I'm not going to be like, you know what, I have a class during football. I'm just going to miss practice, because, if it wasn't for the football, I wouldn't have been there. So I wanted to make sure I stay grateful and appreciative for that. But yeah, man, the event is going to be called A Night in Paradise. It's like a island feel. The attire is upscale island chic.
Okay. Upscale island chic. Explain that to us.
Yeah, I'm like,
It's basically just getting, you ever watch those movies you're in the Bahamas and you're out there to the nice event by the beach and a nice little linen type of
Got your white linen pants on.
White linen pants on, walking
Got
in
your
the
top
wind.
3 buttons open. You know what I mean? Letting the taco meat hang out a little bit.
Exactly.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, and then we're gonna have here's another one for you: Epicurean food stations. Well,
okay, Epicurean
reception, not even food
reception.
Station. So it's really like different food stations there, where you'd have some nice food and nice menu, and so they'll definitely have a good time, and also a signature rum punch.
Okay.
See the whole island, that whole island feel. Because last year we did the gala, but this year we wanted to do something different, something fun. So after the war ceremony, we're gonna have the DJ there to open up when the doors open at 6. Sahara is gonna be singing some nice songs. I don't know if you've seen her perform, but she's a really good performer. She performed at the gala last year and did a tremendous job.
Awesome.
And she performed here around town as well. And we're gonna have the NFL alumni Las Vegas chapter there. I'm the vice president of the alumni chapter, and our president Lyndon King is going to be there, and other members of the chapter, other player members as well. So it's going to be a nice event, and I really want to be able to show the appreciation to the sponsors, because it's going to a good cause, which is helping these youth and letting them know that they can accomplish anything they want to do in life. All they have to do is believe in themselves, and they will achieve it. That's really my motto.
It's good,
after the mission, believe it and you will achieve it. Because I've done music, I've done football, soccer, wrestling.
A little acting too?
Did a little acting. Also did a little bit of boxing when I was playing the UFL when the season was just 8 games.
You had to do something else, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Something else to stay in shape.
Had to stay active.
So I was just doing that to stay in shape, and I ended up becoming good, by applying all the principles.
Like Steve said, he hasn't failed on it at anything.
It's a mentality, because my father told me when I was younger, he said, Marlon, do your best at any contest, and God will do the rest.
Definitely.
He told me 3 things, and so it didn't matter what it was. If it was school, what I putting out my best effort, and I'm giving you my best. That's why when I started playing football my junior year, I was just out there giving the coach my best. Yeah. Not knowing that, I'm doing this because I wanted to get a scholarship. I didn't even know you could get a scholarship.
Exactly.
And then that's how it is in life, guys. You get rewarded by your hard work when you don't even know it's coming. Yeah. Things just happen for you.
That's cool, man. And I don't know where I would be without mentors and people speaking into my life to be able to go forward in this. And I think that's important. We need people, and we need people of your age and my age and Steve's age to be able to go out there and speak to the youth. Yeah. Because we didn't know what we were doing when we were 15, 16. Mm-hmm. We had to have people speak into our lives to be able to get to the point where we're at now. I wouldn't have a radio station and be doing, events and stuff like that. Absolutely. If I didn't have mentors pushing me and letting me know, like, there's more. I was trying to just do music. Yeah. And you have to know, like, that could be an open door, but you have to know that that's not make it or break it and your life's over if you don't make it. Exactly. You have to have other things you're good at and skills you're good at. So people need mentorship, man. So I really do, give you props on that, because we need more of that in this city. And anything we could do to help, man, we're always behind you.
My first mentor was my father. My father passed away in 2014, so it was really tough. Really tough to deal with. But he was my first mentor. I have 7. I mentioned before, I have 7 brothers and 4 sisters. Not all from the same mom, but we all lived together. My father made sure that all of us lived together. I knew all of my brothers and sisters growing up.
That's cool, man.
And we were all a close family because of him. And he was always there telling, like I mentioned, do your best at any contest, and God will do the rest. But that's just a simple breakdown. But he used to mentor you in every little thing, things you're gonna face in life, what you're gonna do. He didn't do much. He didn't know much about some of the things that New America had to offer, like with the scholarships and stuff. So that's where my high school coach came in. Yeah. The gym teacher, Coach Russ Sellen, he was the one that saw something in me I didn't see in myself, and be like, you know what, this guy needs to stop playing the soccer and come over here and play football, because he doesn't know what he can accomplish. Yeah, definitely. He saw that, so he was able to direct me there. And there's been other mentors. The head wrestling coach, Coach Hayes. I remember my senior year when I had won the Empire State Games, which is in freestyle and freestyle wrestling, but I had never won the Scholastics. I had and that's the one I want to win, because that's like the one where everybody come out to wrestle, so you really get. And I remember my senior year, and everybody that my coach introduced me, Coach Hayes. Yeah. He was like, hey, come meet Morlon Greenwood. This is going to be our next state champion. And I'm like, come on, man.
A lot of pressure.
Like, but you know what? Because I had told him before that I was going to do it, but then, but I know what he was doing. He was kind of speaking it into existence, but I kind of don't like to talk about anything unless I do it. Yeah, definitely. Unless I do it.
That's good, man.
But even though I'm thinking about it and I'm working toward achieving, I don't want to go out there putting, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, because you have one plan and God have another, for you. But yeah, mentors are definitely important. That's the whole thing about the camp. The foundation, we're a leadership and mentorship program for socioeconomic disadvantaged youth and adolescents, and we just want to give them any which direction, because these days the kids listen to entertainers and entertainers, actors, professional athletes, and if we can be able to tell them the correct way how to do things and be able to change the mentality of the youth and just give them the confidence that they need to let them know that they can do this. It's a process. It's not going to happen in 2 or 3 minutes like you watch on that Instagram video. You're not going to go from rack to riches in like 3 minutes. Yeah. All of a sudden one day you're in this, next day you're in the Bentley, and everything is great.
Exactly.
Because sometimes it give them the wrong interpretation of how it really is. It's a daily grind. Some people, that's why some people start out fresh and strong, and then all of a sudden 1 week go by, 2 weeks go by, they don't see anything, and then they're definitely starting to get discouraged. So we're here to tell them, listen, it's a grind. You could do it, but it's gonna take a long time.
Yeah.
The old mind change of their expectation, and they know that it's gonna be a process. I'm in high school now. I'm not going to NFL tomorrow. I got to go to college. Then I got so they make the plans and they figure out how they're gonna do it.
Yep. So you could register your youth for this camp on the website, right?
Yes.
mg52.org. It's in July.
Yeah, July 11th to the 13th. First day is going to be a symposium. Second day is the combine and the camp. The third day we're going to finish up with a 7-on-7.
Nice. Nice. Okay. So make sure you check out the site, man. There's a lot of information on the site for this weekend's event and for the camps. You can sign up, register right there. mg52.org is the site. Man, I really appreciate you coming through, man. And like I said, anything you need from us, man, we're here to support, what you're doing with your events and the camps and everything. NFL alumni, Raiders are coming out here. How big of a deal is that for the city of Las Vegas?
It's a very big deal. You saw what the Golden Knights did. Yeah. Come out here and how the city rallied around them. Somebody said this to me the other day. He said the same thing. You saw what the Golden Knights did well and how the city reacted well. When the Raiders come here, you can multiply that by 10.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That's what he was saying. And this is a guy that, been watching football and knows. So when he mentioned that, I was like, man, that's going to really be a lot of excitement. So that's why the national headquarters started a chapter here. Because they like to have a chapter, because there are 36 different chapters across the United States.
Okay.
They try to have a chapter in every place where they have like an NFL team.
So when did the chapter start?
I started
recently?
last July.
Okay.
So it's less than a year.
Perfect.
We had our draft party the other day, April 24th at the book. We have a partnership with Caesars Entertainment.
Yeah.
We're building and working on building our Caring for Kids program, which is similar to what I'm doing with the foundation. That's why I liked it so much, and I really wanted to contribute it, because the alumni is a nonprofit, and their mission is caring for our own, caring for kids. Like a lot of people, they talk about caring for our own. Well, NFL players, all of them is good, and taken care of. But these are guys that helped to build the game. The guys that played pre-1993, the older guys that are starting to have different physical body problems like that. The president of the alumni, he just had 2 shoulder replacement, hip replacement, knee replacement. And he said, Morlon, your time is coming. He said, I used to have the aches and pains just like you when I was your age. And but you know what? They teach us to push through it and to be able to, because if you don't push through it, guess what? Someone else is in there, and they definitely. Someone else. So you gotta be tough, and you gotta act tough too. But that's what we're working towards doing, is taking care of those guys, and that's why I really appreciate the NFL, because if it wasn't those guys that made the NFL the way it is today, I wouldn't have the opportunity that I had to go there and to help my family. So definitely looking forward to that, and looking to working with the Las Vegas community, with the alumni, also with the foundation. Yeah.
Well, like I said, man, anything you need from us, we're always, here.
Absolutely.
We can leave the studio too and help out with anything you need.
So what are you doing Saturday night? You're gonna come to
man,
the night in
I think I'm gonna be there. I gotta find some gear to wear.
All right.
I don't know if I have
let me know. I'll put you
my
down. Yeah, definitely put you down. Yeah, and that's another thing. I want to let the people know that when the purchase the tickets are $100, but it includes the Epicurean reception and a signature rum punch.
Okay.
Probably like 2 drink tickets.
Okay.
And there's going to be a cash bar there, and if they want to order other refreshments and stuff, but it's going toward a good cause. It costs like $50 a day for the kids to sponsor them. We provide them food at the camp and T-shirts and all that stuff.
So this camp's paid for when they register.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yep.
So it's a free camp. So
it's a free camp for the kids. The kids don't have to worry about they don't have to worry about any type of
it's not the kids worried, it's the parents worried for the kids. So parents, you don't have to worry about dropping $200, $300 for this camp. This camp is being paid for through this event going on Saturday, this fundraiser event and other events that you guys have had, but this is the main fundraiser event for the camp. So make sure you support, buy your ticket. Listen, even if you can't go, buy a ticket. Support. Put some money in there to support this fundraiser, because it is helping the kids, the youth of Las Vegas, get off the street, get mentorship, get out there, play football. Are they all going to go to the NFL? Probably not. But are they going to get mentored and be better kids out of it? Yes, they will. So make sure you definitely check that out. Once again, that website is mg52.org.
And I want to add something to that, because football, learn about football, embrace life, because football teaches you a lot about life. It taught me a lot about life, and it doesn't matter what you're doing. You can utilize what you learn in football to assist you in your other business or just life in general. It teaches you about working together, because there is a group of guys working together for the common goal, and everybody got to be on the same page. It teaches you about accountability, being accountable to the guy next to you, because he's hoping that you're gonna get your job done, so he could do his job. So he can't do his job well if you're not doing your job. Right. So it's the same thing within the organization. They teach you about overcoming adversity. What do you do during the game when you're down? Are you gonna just throw in the towel, or are you gonna keep on fighting to rally back in the fourth quarter and to end up winning the game? And it teaches you about discipline, consistency. Of every single day, coming to practice, doing the same thing over and over and over again, and trying to be successful and to win the game, to go and get a championship or go to the playoff or working towards something. But that consistency, just like any other organization, any job that you want to be successful in. So it's the same type of principles.
That's awesome, man. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Real quick, let them know where they can find you online, your social media and all that.
Well, the social media for the foundation is for Facebook is MG52. That's for the Morlon Greenwood Foundation. On Instagram is Morlon Greenwood Foundation, and my name is Morlon. Is my mother named after Marlon Brando. So people say, is it Marlon or is it Morlon? Because people call you Marlon, but it's spelled M-O, but it's spelled M-O-R-L-O-N. The Morlon Greenwood Foundation. That's how it would sound to pronounce it, but you could call
but they call you Marlon.
Right. Right. The Morlon Greenwood Foundation, and on Twitter it's MG52 Foundation. And also for my personal is just Morlon Greenwood. And awesome. The website, all the information on the website, is easy for them to just go to the website, mg52.org. Also, for my music, ultimate5256.com. Got all the information there. I didn't really talk much about it, but
listen, we do. What kind of music do you do?
Reggae music. It's kind of like the Jamaican version of Pitbull and Florida.
All right, listen, man. We do music shows in here too, so we're gonna have to get you on and Had to do some
nice.
music
Nice, yeah,
live in the
definitely.
studio, man,
Yeah,
for
live
sure.
in the studio, like ultimate a man who talk about the peace. Them a talk about the war, them a talk about disease. Optimist, them not accept defeat. Remember, whatever you sow, you will reap. I bless you. You tell me about me blood. Talk behind me back in my face, skin your teeth. You worship the devil and the mark of the beast. Me, I praise up Jesus and the word where him preach. Blah blah. You know it's ultimate. You know, like
There you
stuff
go.
like that.
Wow.
Listen, man, I've been asking Steve on Speak Live Radio. Speak Live Radio is our hip hop show we do on Fridays, right?
Yeah.
I've been asking Steve to freestyle for months, and he gets scared every time, man.
Well, yeah. So yeah. So they go to ultimate5256.com for the music, and the website mg52.org. All the social media is there, and my personal Instagram, they could just log on to official Morlon Greenwood.
Cool.
You get that. And Facebook is Morlon Greenwood, and Twitter is Morlon Greenwood.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate you coming through, and I appreciate everybody for listening, tuning in, watching live on Facebook, watching the replay on YouTube, and catching the replay on the podcast, man. Listen, everybody out there, download the Guerilla Cross app. We got 24/7 positive hip-hop. We got sports shows throughout the week, every day. So make sure you check it out. Also, check out VegasHypeMedia.com. We have a lot of shows on there, too, out of the same studio. So make sure you check all that out. Follow us at Guerilla Cross on all social media. And we will see you guys next Monday. We have my man. His name is, I'm going to get you his name, Gary Knafleck. He was 8 years. He was a roommate and teammate of Bart Starr, the late Bart Starr from the Green Bay Packers. So we're going to have him live on the line. He's not flying all the way out here for the interview, Steve. I'm sorry about that. But we will have him on the phone to give us some Bart Starr stories, who recently passed away, man, a legend in the NFL. So we're going to be talking to him about that on Monday. So make sure you tune in. We're going to be talking about everything that happened in the NBA Finals. I think we'll be 2 games in by then. So make sure you check us out. Stay locked in. GorillaCross.com, at Guerilla Cross on all social media. Download that app. And for Dre Bailey, Steve Huff, Marlon Brando Jr., I'm Quan 59, and we will see you next time. Peace.